All right, guys, what is going on? What up? What up? Welcome to the stream. Glad you guys are here. Open chat today again. I've just been leaving it open, man. Leaving it open. FOMC kind of day. Fed funds rate. Powell should be speaking in like an hour and a half or like an hour and 25 minutes from now. So, you know, it's going to be one of those kind of days, which we get ever so often. And that is today. That is today. So I'm not expecting very much until then. So we'll see. We'll go over a couple things. If you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to ask them, and I will do my best. All right, drop a like if you guys are here, if you guys are ready to go, and all that good stuff. Willow's been first like 5 days in a row now, or something like that. What's good, Willow? Eberneth, welcome back. Or maybe it was someone else I was thinking of that just came back. Anyway, what's good? Eberneth, Lucas, Natasha, Rory Sang, hello. Just started taking an interest in trading. What's in store for us today? Volatility, probably. Here in about an hour to an hour and a half, we might see a lot more volatility. All right. A lot more. I could be wrong though, but you know, we'll see what happens. What's good, Naruto? Memo G for Jerry or Gary, one of the two. What's good, Sean, Jeff, Prince K, hello. Felix, what's good? Zokjo, Amin, Smalley, can I ask about break of structure? Ugh. Why you don't need to wait for that? And it is considered to indices only or Forex and everything. So, Smalley, if you watch the market review from yesterday, today is Wednesday, right? Yeah. Yeah, I made the title. If you watch, it's the last day of the month too. Don't forget that. The market review from last night. I talked about that very briefly. I said you don't need to break a structure. I traded without one. So it's overrated, man. It's overrated in my opinion. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. All right. What's good? I mean, MJ pull in hole shots. I don't even know what that means. Are you golfing? What's good, Hermita? Oh, damn, Smalley. Damn. Well, shit, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. I think the way that most people view breaks of structure, I just don't think it's worth it. There's a video on that I did a long time ago. It's called, well, there's two. There's one called Never Get Break of Structure Wrong Again. That's actually in support of break of structure. But there's another video called Why You Don't Need Break of Structure or something like that. So, in other words, watch the content, bro. Yeah. Sometimes, and I'm not trying to talk shit, Smalley, but sometimes you guys ask questions that have been answered in videos that you should have already watched. That's how I know you don't watch them. You didn't think I was going to do that, huh? You didn't think I was going to say, gotcha. Or when somebody, you know, it's funny, you know, this whole time, right? That's how I know you guys don't read either. Because this was the first month in years. None of you caught it. That's how I know you don't read. None of you asked about book of the month for this month. None of you. That's how I know you don't read. That's how I know you don't read. Nobody asked, John, what was the book of the month? Because I never said it. I was waiting for you fuckers to catch on, and you never did. Gotcha. Gotcha. How's that feel? How does that feel, SMS community? Fuck. I didn't think John was going to call me out on my bullshit. Wrong. Big old fat wrong, my friend. Anyways, forgot what I was doing. What's good, Marshall? You said, what was your first experience trading with real money like? The very first trade I ever took, I made almost $2,000. I bought penny stock. And I let it go for like months. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Then one day I saw it was up. I was up like 1,700 and some change. I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm rich. And that's what got me hooked. You know? I bought some penny stock at like 30 cents or 20 cents. And it went up to like $1 and some change. It was beautiful. That was my first trade. First ever trade. Almost $2,000. I didn't feel hope or fear there, G. Was I more disciplined? No, I was probably the least disciplined. How did the money affect your behavior? It got me addicted to trading. That's what it did. I was like, holy shit, just pulled in almost a couple $1,000s from doing nothing. This is awesome. I've been hooked ever since. You know, part of me thinks sometimes that my trading career would have went differently if I had got, you know, clapped. So, but that's how it went. How did you learn trading? Was it through just experience or did you have mentors? I mean, I get that question all the time, dude. All the time. I've had many, many mentors. I've read many books and I've taken many courses. I haven't taken courses in years. It's probably been like 5 years since I've, you know, done that. But trial and error experience. I've got friends who taught me a few things here and there. And yeah. Leon ES slapped me around today. Leon, did you try to short? Did you try to short a bull market? Oh, it's motocross. Oh, okay. Well, I literally don't know anything about that, Willow. What was the book of the month? There was no book of the month for this month. What's good, 2020? What's good, George? How do you keep the market from affecting your positivity? Can you give some ideas, says Lucas. Finally, it's been a while since Lucas asked me a really good question. You cannot put your happiness into externals. I think we covered that yesterday. Well, a little bit. I covered a little bit about that yesterday. The market doesn't dictate whether I'm happy or sad. But in all fairness, I am probably happy most days that I'm up. So, like today, Nasdaq at our open, SPY at our open. Oh man, easy day. Easy day, dude. Easy day. And that makes me happy too. Making money, obviously. Following your trade plan. You know, all that good shit. That's cool. But you know, you can take a loss and still have a good day though. Like your happiness is not, it should not be dependent upon externals. You know? Like if somebody has a bad day, if a friend of mine or a family member has a bad day, that ain't got shit to do with me. And I know that sounds bad. It's just the way that I say it. You know? But like it's just, you know, if your significant other or your family member or your friends, you know, come over and they're having a fucked up day and then you're feeling all fucked up about it too. Why would you do that? You know, you're kind of just bringing yourself down a little bit there. So I'm going to have a good day, you know? I'm going to choose to have a good day, and then I'm going to have a good day. And that's it. But you got to practice that, man. You can't just, you know, you can't just learn something like that or like read, say, meditations or letters from a stoic or discourses, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're the most stoic person ever. Like, that's not how it works. You gotta practice that. You just gotta work on it. How can you avoid self-sabotaging behavior? Yeah, experience journaling. You know, you're gonna realize that a lot of the things that you do to yourself, they're avoidable. You know, so don't do that. So don't do that. Leon said, yep. Leon, I can't help you, dude. I can't help you. I was hinting to look at SPY at our open today, and we opened where? In this gap. Well, slightly below it, but then we traded into it. That's what I was trying to get to. You guys keep asking me shit. We opened like 548.96 or whatever that is. 98. We dipped a little bit lower and then shot right into that gap that we've been waiting for. I pointed that out earlier this week. Right? That was the upside objective. So if we measure from the close of Tuesday to the open, that gap should actually be drawn from the open. I think it just magnet towards the magnet tool, I think, magnetized it towards the wick, but that's technically wrong. And there's your good old 50% of that. Right? Look at that. Beautiful. So, what's shortable in there? What? What about that tells you short? I don't know. Nothing about that screams short. Nothing. Same thing with Nasdaq. Nasdaq is our strongest index today too. Dow Jones was actually playing laggard today. Let me see. A30 opened, dropped lower, while the other indices I think were a little bit higher, and then it catches up. So you had a little bit of a lag scenario over there on Dow, but nothing about that is shortable. How do you know Nasdaq? Bro, look at the numbers. YM 0.65, ES 0.1 or 1.6, excuse me. Nasdaq 2.86. Nasdaq's our strongest index. It's right there. The numbers are right there. All right. Let's go over to Nasdaq. Okay. What about that is shortable? What about that? We had the same idea as ES. We have this imbalance here, right? And then this gap up here. So if you have an imbalance, a large imbalance, you cut it in half, right? We're not even at the halfway point. Why are you looking for shorts? Why are you looking for shorts? This is what I was trying to open up with. Look at triple Qs. This is what I was, Ricky, this is what I was trying to get you to watch earlier. July 25th, that's a Thursday. Last Thursday. That was swept yesterday. See that? That was swept right there on triple Qs. You go to SPY. That's why I drew that line out here for you to look at it. SPY didn't make a lower low. Triple Qs did. That's manipulation. Why would you sell into that? You're selling or shorting in a bull market, right? Today is essentially the NCE, the next candle entry, because we have manipulation, right? So you would be entering at the open or below of the next candle. So if you have to wait for equities, right? And that's what I was showing you this morning. All that in here, divergence, down candle, inverted imbalance, not a mitigation here, but there was a mitigation here on ES to go higher. Why are you looking for shorts? Yeah, well, I agree. Knowing Jesus helps big time, not letting the markets get to you. I like it. I'll allow it. I'm all for it. I think a good way to think about it is to base your positivity on your discipline and how well you stick to it rather than on a weekly monetary target that the market should meet. Not bad. Mark Douglas said, always that the disciplined trader, or excuse me, that the disciplined trading plan is all and the market moves are nothing. It's a matter of expectation. I don't know. I expect liquidity to be attacked. I expect gaps and imbalances to be traded into. I expect models to pan out, buy models, sell models. I expect them to pan out. That's what I expect. What was your biggest mindset breakthrough in trading to become profitable? I don't know, dude. That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to that. I do not know. There was a lot of them, but I think that patience is probably one of the biggest things, right? Understanding that, hey, this is going to take time to pan out. And there's your mitigation model, by the way, earlier today on ES. You know, understanding that the markets take time to pan out, whether it's a session or a day or a couple days or a couple weeks, you know, like JP Morgan, that's running like 16 months now, you know, and just focusing on the things that are within your control, just like Epictetus talks about. You know, we control, if we're, I mean, as far as a market order goes, right? We control whether we enter at the mitigation or above it. You know, it's like, are you going to wait for it to get there, or are you just going to try and get in because you want to get in? You know, so a lot of those nuances like that are within your control. Are you going to, let's say, get out if the market goes lower, even though you expect higher pricing? Right? I'm still expecting higher pricing. So it's like, hey, we came down to sweep liquidity and that's a new low, right? But would I exit there, or would I want to exit at a new high? I want to exit at a new high, right? So these little things, your decisions and your actions, those are all within your control. What's good, Zay? What's good, Roman? So that's that. So again, triple Qs traded lower. Let's go back to the daily for a second. That's where most of your analysis needs to be. Okay, if you never knew that, that's where it needs to be. All right, SPY could not take Thursday's low, right? Where triple Qs did. So if this was a 1 minute time frame and this was like New York Open up here, we would want to look for longs at that next candle, right? I put a thread out about that. I have videos about that. I've done streams about that. I can't do any more than I've already done with that, right? Entering at the next candle. And that's essentially, you know, that was the focus for today. So you have, I mean, you don't have to do anything, but in my opinion, you need to have the higher time frame, you know, ideas in mind. We still have this gap up here, right? And then above that, we have another gap. So these are the kinds of areas where, you know, if you have a normal account, not like a funded account or anything, but like a normal account, these are the types of environments where you can hold for a potential lot longer run. But you won't know that on a 1 minute time frame. You won't know that on a 5 or a 15 minute. You have to look at the daily and weekly, right? We talked about what the weekly did on SPY yesterday or Monday, or maybe it was both. I don't even know. Right? Same thing. Or no, I did explain this on Monday. Last week respected the imbalance, right? So this would be a next candle entry. We would be looking for longs below the weekly open. Oh, that's a good one. Right? Thursday, Friday, there's Monday's open. So there's your weekly open. So if you expect a bullish week, okay, these lows here, a little bit of a larger gap here, trades below the lows, deeper into that gap. We trade off of it and close, and then overnight we rallied. It's all the same, chat. It's all the same. Weekly, daily, 5 minute, 1 minute. It's all the same. You just don't do the analysis on the higher time frames. That's what's fucking you up. Because I know exactly what you thought you were doing. And I'm not trying to roast you, but sometimes you guys piss me off. In all seriousness, sometimes you fucking make me mad. You saw this liquidity and you want to short above that because you think it's going to go lower. I know exactly what you're thinking. Right? Okay, well, where the fuck is the liquidity? Where? Is there equal lows? No. Is there low resistant lows? Not really. The fuck is down here? Nothing. Maybe an imbalance, I guess. Right? But you remember my favorite. I mean, my least favorite, right? Liquidity to imbalance. It's my least favorite. I don't like that. I just don't. And now you know why. Now you know why. I've told you time and time again, not every equal highs or not every low resistant highs is going to be a reversal. It's not always like that. But I don't always stay angry, bro, because you have to learn on your own. And sometimes you got to do stupid shit to learn. That's why the last couple weeks I've been saying, hey, don't do anything stupid. And I'll see you, you know, on the next live stream or the next whatever. This is what I mean by that. Okay? This is what I mean. Don't do dumb shit. Okay? And I know Lee Bright agreed a couple weeks ago when I was like, yeah, don't do any dumb shit between all the good trades. And he was like, yeah, that's half the battle right there. Not just taking good trades, but then trying to minimize or not do the dumb shit in between. But it's hard though, dude. I've been doing this a very, very long time. A long time. I still make mistakes too. Okay? And I'm telling you what they are before you even make them. That's why there's rules. There's frameworks to follow. There's that video I did like a year and some change ago, the top 10 smart money trading rules. Don't short when there's equal highs, right? And guess what? You violated that. Not equal highs though, but there is a gap up here. So you're shorting with a gap up here after liquidity run. That's why that rule exists. Okay. Or same thing with SPY, right? SPY has this gap and it didn't even reach. Well, I mean, at some point it reached 50%, but if you were trying to short before that, you broke the rules, bro. You broke the fucking rules. And if you break the rules, you will suffer the consequences. You're going to take a losing trade. You're going to lose the combine. You're going to lose the challenge or whatever. And you're going to screw it up. Rules are there. I can make them for you. I can tell you what they are, but I cannot make you follow them. I mean, just like myself, I know what my rules are. And guess what? Every once in a while, I'll break them too. I'm not perfect, bro. And guess what? If you break the rule and then you take a losing trade, you got to suffer. You did that. You got to follow the rules or don't. But either way, you will reap what you sow. It's as simple as that. Do I know any good trading mindset channels on YouTube? I mean, you're already here, Lucas. What do you mean? What do you mean? But I mean, I would follow the Daily Stoic. The Daily Stoic that's ran by Ryan Holiday. He has a lot of good videos, a lot of good content. So I would follow that. They're short, right to the point. Not really a whole lot of bullshit. What can you say about patience? I was up 3K for my first funded challenge, but I blew it all out. Good bias and technical, but bad execution from the mental side. Bro, trading is such a deep psychology. So Roman, did you take partials? Did you move your stop to break even or move your stop into profit, or you just let it go? You just let it do whatever it's got to do. Sounds like I over leverage there too. How can I use the ETFs to determine my bias? I just gave it to you. I mean, it's just understanding, bro. You know, because like the futures had something very similar, but not the same. Right? The future side had some lows here, never took them. We had earnings yesterday. I think it was Microsoft. I think Apple or Meta has earnings this week too. I'd have to double check that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's earnings in the aftermarket like every day this week, or at least today and tomorrow. So we had some shake and bake yesterday in the afternoon, in the after the stock exchange closed, excuse me. Right? But same thing here. Nasdaq took that Thursday's low. The S&P did not. So it left equal lows or low resistant lows down here. And the market can do that, right? So manipulation, it took liquidity. What's it going to seek now? Opposing liquidity. How far can the market go above highs or above a high? Imbalances. And you have one right there. Perfect. Body's respected now on a 1 hour time frame. That, I guess, could be shortable, maybe, but leading up to, let's say, lunch, okay? Lunch is like right here. So lunch starts and you're near the high of day. So watch this. Lunch begins, and then after lunch, about an hour, right? So lunch is an hour, and then an hour after that is FOMC. So now you're going to look to take trades ahead of FOMC. Ooh, I don't know, Chief. I don't know about that. But anyway, I say all that to say the ETFs. Okay. I follow both. The ETFs and the futures. It's been on this list for I don't know how many years now, how many streams you've watched. It's all been here. Everything and the dollar index. It's all been there to utilize them. So if the ETFs are likely to trade higher and the futures, align with that, I don't see why they wouldn't. Sometimes they don't. Majority of the time, they're going to line up. And when they do, there's your high probability trades. Sometimes the best move is not to do anything. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes doing nothing is fine. Like right now, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'll just watch, though, for FOMC today. Okay. Overtraded and guess trying to rush it. Doesn't really... Roman, that didn't answer either one of the questions that I had for you, but as long as you learn, I guess. Rushing that process made me lose my 50K account. Yep, and that'll do it. You're welcome, Sasha. Acceptance, reassess, moving on. Yeah. Yeah. And then moving on. Once that transaction is done, it's done. You're either going to take a winning trade or a losing trade. Whatever happens, happens. And that's what the weekends are for. All right, drop a like for me. We only got like 16 likes. You guys fucking suck. Where are the likes at, chat? Where are the likes? There's like 50 of you on here. You guys hate me, dude. You guys hate me. I don't know why. You do this all the time. All the time, you just ignore the like button. Come here for the sauce. Don't even drop the like button, dude. God, dog. Terrible. Was good, Electric. Anyways, let's go over to the dollar now. So, dollar index, I have no idea what this wants to do. I don't know. I literally have no clue. If we look at a daily time frame, we just have higher highs here, and then we have lower lows here. And then now we're kind of back in the middle of this current range. Traded into the halfway of that imbalance yesterday. We came down to take the July 25th low, and now we're, back in the range. Okay, well, like 25 minutes prior to FOMC, after we've taken liquidity on both sides of the market and have gone back in the range, this is a coin flip for me. I have zero clue. I have no idea what dollar index wants to do. The only thing that I can think of is maybe lower. Maybe. And I only say that only because Euro has highs at 108.70. But that's not enough. That's not enough. So, this morning I told you to be mindful of 108.70 for the Euro, okay? And we're down at 108.08, okay? So we're like slightly below this low here. So I have no idea what's going to happen here. Couldn't tell you. I wanted to see if we would trade higher, but again, it's an FOMC day. Trading before FOMC, probably not a good idea. George says British pound has lows. This looks so bad. This looks so bad. Some clean lows down here. Another low that got close but didn't take it. So yeah, this is just same thing. Just in the middle of this overall range here. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Right? So I don't know. When in doubt, wait it out. 15-minute buy model framework on the dollar. I don't know, dude. I don't know. We made 3 lower lows down here. These are all like, it's a higher high. We trade lower, higher high here, higher high here. So we just continuously make higher highs on the way lower. Just, I would not trade currencies ahead of FOMC. If I did, it would be like a very, very small lot or like a very, very small risk. If you want to be a part of, like, you just want to be part of it, okay, you know, you can take something super small or go on demo. But like, I'm not gonna trade fucking lots ahead of FOMC. No. No. Can you go over silver? Ugh, silver. I never clear the markups because all the higher time frame stuff is still here. The public opinion seems to be lower metals, well, gold specifically. So a lot of people came out the last couple of days and said, "Oh, I want to be short gold." You know, unpopular opinion. I'm bearish gold. I'm like, okay, if you guys are bearish, this bitch is flying. And lo and behold, we're higher. Okay, which is cool. But we still have the lows down here, right? Which I understand. But just like I pointed out yesterday or Monday, silver, right, is lower from June into July, right? Late June to today, you know, early or late July, excuse me. We have a lower low here. And gold is much higher at that late July, right? So gold is stronger on, at least on the higher time frames, it looks like. So it's hard to say. Gold is near all-time highs because I'm pretty sure this is all-time highs for gold. So we're kind of near that. I don't know what to do here. I mean, I'm still holding gold, bro. I mean, silver, sorry. I'm still holding all of the silver that I have. I have not gotten rid of any of it. So I was liking it up here, right? I was like, fuck yeah, up here. But we have, we came back a little bit, and that's natural. But I'm still holding, bro. I'm not getting rid of it. FTCE looks good. FTSE, yeah, I don't trade that. I don't trade that. You want to know one thing too? Take a look. Let me see this again. July 29th. You see July 29th here? So there's the low of July 25, 25th. Okay, look at silver. July 25th is here. And July 29th takes that. You see that? Silver takes that. Gold, however, is higher on the 29th. So what was yesterday? Expansion. Today, expansion. You see how that works? So that was somewhere in here, right? So signs of accumulation, even though I was shorting yesterday in the short term. So I would assume there's liquidity up there. For anyone who has tried to short this market, or maybe shorted from all-time highs, like way up here, right? Trading lower, that's a premium level of liquidity here. Some 1 hour imbalances up there too. So, I mean, I could see that, but that's that. What other questions you guys got for me? Because we got about 15 minutes until some shake and bake, possibly. Sniper shorted all-time highs. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, markets are going to fluctuate. And when you're in, let me draw this out because it's probably going to be hard to follow. Okay. What I'm saying is, if you short near all-time highs, okay, like maybe this higher high, or maybe you thought this was a mitigation here, right, like an imbalance. Okay. At the moment here, sure, looks good for short. Okay. But then, you know, things print, right? Massive lower. We rally higher, and then we massively trade lower. So at this particular point, Thursday, July 25th, you know, you're up, right? It looks good. If you're in the shorts, making lower lows, and well, there's like one lower high here, right? From these highs up here. And it looks good at the time. And you're thinking, oh man, this, you know, I'm up a bag. This is just magnificent, whatever. And so you may not trade this way, but a lot of people trade this way, where if they've entered here, or their stop is here and they're deep in a profit, and they're going to want to lock that in. So where are they going to place their stops? Either at the high or just above it, right? To try and say, oh yeah, well, maybe I'm wrong. And it's like, bro, that's what the market gravitates towards. So that's why I think that could be a possibility. And I'm pretty sure I don't know what that was. Friday, July 5th. There was some news over there. So that's some lows that didn't get swept either. So there's liquidity everywhere, dude. Everywhere. These lows here, this high here, probably. I don't know. But we are going to find out in just a few minutes. Do you have a certain approach or mental trick on how you can view the markets as unbiasedly as possible? If you're not in a trade, you're not going to be biased. Like, so for example, I'm in Tesla. I told you today I bought. I was like, hey, I'm in Tesla. It has gaps to the upside too. Nasdaq has upside objectives. So if I want to trade Nasdaq, I want to trade long. I don't want to short if it's got an upside objective. And I'm still long Tesla too. So I'm like slightly biased because I have, or like I have not incentive, but I will benefit if the market goes higher. So I have that slight, I want it to go higher, right? But if you don't have any open positions, you just got to be open to let the market do what it's got to do. You have to wait for it to create equal highs or equal lows, or, you know, whatever it is that you look for, right? So for the dollar, I am unbiased. We've taken April's low. We did a lot of tomfoolery in here. Okay. We reached that imbalance halfway. We came, you know, off of that. And then we took July 25th's low and we're back in the range. It's unclear to me what this wants to do. So there is no bias here, right? Versus something like earlier this week when I was telling you that SPY had this gap up here. So I have that bias of wanting to long. Bro, yesterday, Tuesday in the chat in the morning, I said, hey, I want to see higher pricing. Did I not say that? Because it's there. But at the same time, though, it never offered me a long position on an intraday basis. That's why I went to go look at gold. I'm still bullish on indices, but if it's not giving me a buy setup, then there's no buy to be taken. Does it make sense? But when price is in the middle of a range, oh, no bias. I just got to wait. So, you know, I don't know if that's like a mental trick or not, but, you know, that's how it is. The market can literally do anything. It could go higher, it could go lower, it could consolidate. It's about waiting to see what is the most high probability and then getting in alignment with that. Okay. So real, I just want to flip through these real quick just to see if there's anything that I might have missed. We're just back in the middle of the range. I don't know. Dow is always in its own world. I just gonna move along. It's gonna move along there. Yeah, I don't know, family. I do not know. Julian, I mean, I don't have a bias going into FOMC, but days like today is, I believe, usually a two-part move. So if it goes lower first, there's usually an opportunity for a reversal after that, or the other way. If it goes higher first for FOMC, you know, it might trade lower after that. It's not going to do that on every single FOMC, I don't think, but that's usually what the case is. That's why I usually wait till after. Like, I'll give you a scenario real quick. Okay. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I just want to give you at least an example. Okay. And you'll see this in history if you look at it enough. Just for example's sake, let's say FOMC, you know, 1 o'clock comes around or whatever, and the market just takes a dookie shit. And then makes a lower low, right? It just makes a lower low and maybe trades a little bit off of it. Now, if, say, Nasdaq went lower, but then makes a higher low and starts, oh shit, I fucked that up. Sorry, I'm trying to do this right. Oh no, wait. I can duplicate this. All right, good enough. FOMC hits. Again, example. I don't know what today's going to do. If the indices shit the bed and then they make a low, and then let's say S&P makes a lower low and Nasdaq makes a higher low, and then we start to take off like that lower low here, and then we, you know, make a new high. Oh, that's usually the mitigation to go higher. Like, that's usually the reversal right there. And this should be green, actually. Right? And Nasdaq, same thing. If Nasdaq makes a higher low and then trades in, you know, in sync like that, that's usually how you know that the low has been set. Does that make sense, everybody? I know it's probably not the best, you know, drawing or whatever. It's just a concept. It's just the way that the markets move. If they shit the bed and then you get like a divergence or something, like at a logical spot, like a gap or an imbalance or some shit, and you start to get that reversal, that's usually when it's going to reverse and trade higher. Or the opposite can occur too. And I'm not even going to try to do all this backwards. I'm just going to invert it. Okay. If the markets go higher first and then one makes a higher high while the other makes a lower high, that higher high is usually distribution, especially if it's at a higher time frame, like imbalance or equal highs or whatever. Something that's up there, then that's usually going to be distribution to go lower after FOMC, like 30, 45 minutes after FOMC. Okay. So that's usually what I look for. Or if you do something in the morning, just take the rest of the day. I showed you all kind of shit from this morning. Some of the markups are still here. Right? This was a higher low for Nasdaq. That's a divergence. Down candle right there. We trade higher through this imbalance. So what does that become? An inverted imbalance. Down candle here too. Right there and right there to go higher. And traded all the way up into what? That 1 hour imbalance. We even hit 19.5. I don't know if Ricky, if you saw that, but there's a zero level right there, 19.5. Buying low, selling on the way up, or selling up there right before lunch. And then you could just be done. You'd be like, oh, fuck the rest of the day, I'm done. You know? So anyway, I don't know how I got started on that. Oh, that was from Julian. Asked about Nasdaq. That's right. What year did you start seeing profitability once you switched to smart money from retail? I don't know, dude. It was like probably 3 or 4 years. The Forex side was different though. That took 3 or 4 years. But stocks was a lot easier because if you hold stocks in the long run, they're usually bullish. So most stocks, especially blue chips, if you buy them, usually within 6 months, they're going to be up. Okay. And that's not hard to see. I mean, if you zoom out, just take every year. Okay. 2022 was a shit McGee year, right? But every other year since 2014, because this is when I started back here. I started right in 2014. So buying stocks and holding them, I mean, the only time you could really get your ass clapped is when there was like a higher time frame divergence and we saw that coming. You could sell your stock before it took a dookie. And then 2020 was a pretty wild year too. But guess what? If you just waited, 6 months or a year, you'd be up. So like the stock side, a lot of the times is easier. Like, look at this year. You could have threw darts at a fucking wall this year. You could have said, hey, it's January 1st or the 2nd. January 2nd, 2024, yearly open. Right? Buy below the yearly open. Oh my God, nobody's ever said that before. You could just say, well, fuck it. We'll see what happens into 2025. Right? We'll give it 6 months. And then guess what? You're up. You're up, dude. So yeah, stocks is a lot easier, but day trading Forex, that is a different beast. Day trading indices, that's different. Okay. That's another story. But it took a long time. Okay. I don't have, Albert Einstein type IQ here, dude. Okay. I'm not like some super smart genius or anything. I just been doing this a long time. I've taken a lot of bad trades. I've taken really good trades, and that's it. We only got like a minute left. And then we might see some knick-knack, patty-whack. You know what I'm saying? We might see some, I don't know, something crazy. And yeah, capitalist, it's all ran on algorithms. All those like values, PE ratios, and all that. I don't believe in any of that shit, dude. I don't believe in any of that. There is some fundamental analysis, sure, that's involved, but day trading, especially like 1 minute, 5 minute time frames, oh, it's all algorithmic. It's all algorithmic. So, let's one. See if we get anything. How did I become an educator for IM? Was wondering that for years. Well, I don't know, man. I was a guest for a long time. So I don't know if you guys remember Rock Coomer, right? And he was nice enough to invite me on his channel. And I spent a lot of like London set. That was when I was a night owl. I'd stay up all night, sleep all day. He invited me onto his sessions for the like London, right? Where I would teach and everything. And I don't think I was ever actually allowed to do that. Because when I became an educator, they said you can't have guests on. I said, that's fucking wild because I've been a guest for like 2 years. But anyway, so he was nice enough to invite me on to, you know, teach other traders. And then I think like 2 years into that, I, you know, finally was able to get my own channel. So, yeah, I was a guest for a long time. I was probably the longest go live guest like ever, but you got to have a track record too, Toby. You can't just be like, hey, you know, let me be an educator, right? You had to prove some results too. So, how many years did you spend preparing before actually trading with real money? Gee, I went into the markets with real money on day fucking 1. I didn't even know there was demo accounts and paper accounts and all that shit. I was just like Googling shit. Brokerage account. Who was it? Oh man, I can't remember the name. Scottrade. There you go. Scottrade. Oh my god. We're paying $7 a turn. Fucking bonkers. That was such a long time. That was 10 years ago. But yeah, I just opened an account with Scottrade, threw a couple grand in there, and fucking was just YOLOing. So time in the market over timing the market. Well, in stocks, sure. But anyway, let me take a break real quick. I want to see what the dollar is doing. So we ended up getting a higher dollar, and it looks like we left behind lows right there. Sort of looks like we just left lows behind there. See what the currencies are doing. So the euro, slightly lower here. Pound barely went below that. Barely. Like not even a full pit below that. But yeah, slightly lower low over there. Same with euro. Australian dollar lower. New Zealand overall higher, but it is lower here at the 1 o'clock hour for the FOMC. So yeah, I guess initially we are seeing a rally. Let me just hop back over to the future side. So the indices really aren't even seeing that much of a response here. So, yeah, I don't know. Don't know, chat. Don't know. It has taken me 5 years just to build a system, and now I only pick those trades that make sense to me. Yeah, no, I agree. Makes sense. Do you think the good times for trading are over because all the QE is over since... No. No, Lucas. No. Yeah, some of you remember those orange juice days. Yeah. Some of you have been around for a while. Longest not allowed guest educator. Yeah. Yeah, that, you know, that's one thing about that company, dude. Never got invited to do dick. Never got invited to speak on stage or none of that shit. But it's fine. It's fine. And they've all just made higher lows here. We'll see some low resistance low or low resistance highs up here. See if we can get a run above that. But yeah, so it's cool. Feds didn't cut and higher indices. Yeah, not a surprise. Not a surprise, my friends. Because I want to say last month when we listened to Powell, I think he said they had no plans on cutting or raising, that they were just going to chill out for a little while. So all of them, Lucas. What's your question for Euro USD? And yeah, George, we used to have some good times, man. Over on the sessions, dude. We had good times. But then I had to switch my ways and go back to index futures. London was cool, but that was not a forever thing. Lucas, so Epictetus doesn't have books. He never spoke. I mean, never spoke. He never wrote anything down. It was Arian, one of his students, that wrote all that stuff. So out of all of the volumes, there was 8 volumes that were written, and we only have 4 of them. Out of those 4, people have made books out of that, but there was never like a book written by him. And Discourses is good enough. So with Euro, let me see. So top down, at least, there's a couple things that are a little bit strange to me. The high of June taken, and then we traded back down, but we did some weird shit in here, right? We have this gap here, and then we have this imbalance here. We have this gap over here and this gap too. So there's a lot of concepts in there. So, you know, you look at the current day, I don't know, looks like an inversion as well. We consolidated, didn't really trade out of it until Monday. And then so today traded up and back into it, and it's currently lower. But that's still, you know, I still wouldn't short that, right? Because of these highs here. So I would still favor longs. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you saw over here on the daily time frame. I don't know what you saw here. There's that gap here. That weekly gap. You see that? Close, open. That's what that looks like. Close of Friday, open of Sunday, Monday, right there. So we're kind of in that too. So I don't know. We will know in due time, my friend. We will know in due time. Yeah, so look, I'm an index futures guy. I mean stock and options too, but what I look at the most, what I try and do the most is with the index futures. Okay? With currency, I mean, you either got to throw down like fat lots or hold for like big moves. Whereas in the future side, you don't need a lot of movement to make a lot of money because there's a lot of leverage built into the products. Lucas, I don't even know what that means. Crisis proof stocks. I don't even know what that is. I I just like to trade mostly blue chips like JP Morgan. Tesla, I don't even know if I would call Tesla a blue chip because of its volatility, but it might be. Matter of fact, we should check Tesla before we hop off the session today. We should check to see what's going on over here. So July 24th, Wednesday of last week, I told you I picked up a little bit. I mean, not a lot. I picked up a little bit in here. That gap from Monday, we traded into yesterday, and now it's up, which is cool. But we haven't really seen anything too significant yet. It's only been a couple days. Have a good one, Zach Joe. Appreciate you. This monthly does look pretty terrifying, though. Like, overall, yeah. Overall, this is pretty terrifying. And we are in the middle of a range. But if you look at it from the weekly, and this is another reason why I got back in, because I know we looked at it last year at some point, or earlier this year at some point. I think it was down here or up in here. I think it was October last year. And we got a little bit of movement, and then we gave all that back, and I said I was done with Tesla. But we still have these highs up here at 314. So to me, and I think Jordan was saying to long down here. I think he told me to, or told me he was looking at it, and I never did anything. So sometimes Jordan calls bigger trades than me, and that's okay. But we took that, consolidated, we rallied, and so like this gap here, that just looked pretty decent to me to go higher. I mean, it's going to take time for this to pan out, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it. I would still expect, let me go back to the future side. I would still expect volatility for today because Powell is going to speak here shortly, probably in like 15 minutes. I'm not going to stream for that. Only because the last couple times I just don't think it was worth it to do so. The volatility, I think, could still, be up there for today. And if you don't see anything, then don't take anything. All right. Err on the side of caution, especially on days like today. All right. So I'll cut it here. Y'all be blessed. Have an amazing rest of your day. Tesla, I think, or with Tesla, yeah, I have a mental stop there. But I'm not going to hold it probably too far past where I bought it at. I'm not going to give it too much. It's got to run now or it's probably not going to. But yeah, there's sort of a mental stop there. But yeah, y'all be good, man. I will put out the next market review tomorrow on Thursday, which is August 1st. August 1st. So be good. Don't do anything stupid. I'll see you then.